Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Monday, February 1st, 2016. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. The High Command of the Royal St. Christopher and the Nevis Police Force has made a decision to have an increased police visible presence in communities in order to deter criminal behavior and to reassure the public. The Police High Command issued a statement yesterday, Sunday, January 31st, after it convened a strategic meeting in order to explore all options available to combat and reduce criminal activity. According to the statement, with immediate effect, all leave for police officers has been cancelled, with those on leave having been recalled for duty. This action was required in order to deploy the optimum number of police officers out on the streets. The public will see 24-hour vehicular patrols and can expect an increase in personnel and vehicle stop and searches as part of the effort. There is full deployment of the mobile command unit and other units in areas identified as hotspots and of particular concern. In addition, officers assigned to the various stations across the Federation will walk the beat in the communities they serve. Training at the Police Training Center has been suspended, and the recruits will be integrated into the station staff in administrative support roles to allow for the full deployment of the officers. Operational support has been sought and the commitments received from Her Majesty's Customs and Excise Department and the St. Kitts and Nevis Defence Force. The Defence Force will increase its mobilization efforts and will assist with increased patrols and other support. The Police High Command has also agreed to the combined utilization of resources, including K9 teams and other equipment, in order to support these initiatives. The statement reminds the public that aiding and abetting criminals and criminal activity is a crime, and the persons found to be assisting these individuals will be dealt with severely as provided for under the law. The decision to increase the police presence comes on the heels of the Violent Crimes Unit announcing its investigation into the death of Asim Paris of Stony Grove, who was murdered by an unknown assailant or assailants in the vicinity of the Bath Cemetery on Saturday morning. The police is also investigating the murder of Wade Phipps, a resident of Christ Church, St. Kitts. The incident occurred about 7:50 p.m. on Friday night in Otley's Village. Initial investigations revealed that Phipps was shot in the vicinity of the netball and basketball courts several times by an unknown assailant or assailants and died on the scene. Meantime, a search for a missing person has resulted in the discovery of a body in the mountain area surrounding Stapleton Village on St. Kitts. Initial investigations revealed that the remains are those of 28-year-old Devon Percival of Stapleton Village. An autopsy performed on the body of the deceased by the forensic pathologist yesterday, Sunday, January 31st, revealed that death was as a result of gunshot injuries. The investigation is ongoing. Persons with information that can assist the police in these and any other crime are urged to call any police station in the Federation or the anonymous and confidential hotline Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477. Meantime, Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, has issued a call for the end to senseless killings taking place in the country.
We have persons who we know are involved in drugs. Wherever there are drugs, guns are not far behind. We have to ensure that we encourage these people to give up that life for one which is more law-abiding.
The National Security Minister says the government is prepared to provide special support to those who are involved in drugs and guns and who are determined to make a turnaround so that they can become more law-abiding citizens.
Whether it is land or supplies or alternative jobs, we are prepared to provide them with that support so that they could live a more law-abiding life. I want to encourage you who know of people who either have guns or drugs to pass the information on so that we could stamp out the senseless killing that is taking place in the community. The life we save may be our own or some family member, and that is why we have to treat this serious.
He urged the community to share information about what they know of criminal activities to the relevant and confidential authorities.
We have to ensure that no more will be continued down this path. The police are charged with protecting us, and we have to ensure that we cooperate with them. And we find a friend, a pastor, a parliamentary representative, somebody, if we don't want to give the information directly to the police, somebody who we could tell, who could pass on the message.
Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris. The Department of Agriculture's Marketing Division will have a sale at the George Mowbray Hanley Market Complex tomorrow, Tuesday, February 2nd, 2016. Marketing Officer at the Agriculture Department, Steve Reed, gave us these details about the sale.
We'll have broccoli, pumpkin, butternut squash, and of course, onions. The onions presently are what we call green onions. The term green onions means that they haven't dried completely to have the skin coating, the scale on the outside. So there are some folks that might be a bit intimidated and saying it's not ready. However, given the fact that a dry onion is only dry so that it can be stored outside of the refrigerator, on the countertop, in the cupboards like we used to do way back then. Nowadays, everyone stores their vegetables and fruits and seasoning in their refrigerator. So green onions would last for quite some time in the refrigerator.
He also outlined the prices of the items.
The onions will be $1.50 per pound. The butternut squash will be $2.50 per pound. The pumpkin would be $1.50 per pound. And as broccoli, we're working on that. Come on down. We're working on that. I'm not going to give you a price for the broccoli as yet. I haven't seen on, and as being a marketing officer, I need to see and come up with a feasible price for it, because Evelyn is holding a nice one, but I have heard that they have some huge ones up there. So I'm not going to and I think they would be selling by heads, not by pound. So I want to have an average size. So come on down, you can't lose off the sale.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Eric Evelyn, noted that everything on sale is locally grown, including the broccoli, which was grown in the greenhouse at the Prospect Agricultural Station.
Everything will be excellent quality, grown right here in Nevis. Quite a lot of the products grown by the Department of Agriculture as well as our farmers. What we're going to be having here is just a little appetizer as to what will be coming for our grand open day that is slated for Thursday and Friday, March the 17th and the 18th at the Villa in Charlestown.
The sale will commence at 9 a.m. Still to come.
For 18 and a half years, you have been good to me, St. Paul.
The details after this break.
Gala WhatsApp and I send text. Me see the SMS. Me have to show it.
Send me a pic of yourself. One of you know where.
I have too much self-respect to send you a pic of you know where.
If you really love me, you will do it.
If you really love me, you wouldn't ask.
You matter to your family, to your friends, to your community, to you. Remember, you matter.
This message was brought to you by the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and the Nevis Health Promotion Unit.
Welcome back. Strengthening our commitment to preserving our heritage, our arts, archives, and marine environment is the theme under which the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, in collaboration with the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park Society and the St. Kitts National Trust, will celebrate History and Heritage Month throughout February. Making his address to declare the month open, Premier the Honorable Vance Amy said preserving our heritage helps to generate civic pride and foster a sense of empowerment and a national identity.
Our arts are considered to be an integral part of our cultural heritage. They constitute a community's cultural assets. They are essential to a community's well-being, economic and cultural vitality, and a sense of identity. Our arts present an outlet of our expression, and they are also a physical manifestation of our internal impulses. In times past, they served as a vessel for storytelling and conveyed mankind's relationship with its environment. Therefore, the preservation of our arts should be paramount.
Premier Amy also noted that our archives, records that are of lasting value to our society, are also worthy of preservation.
They are records of human activities and can be vital for providing an audit trail for evidential, research, accountability, and legal reasons. Archives also provide verification of transactions by governments, organizations, or individuals. Things such as legal documents, minutes of meetings, charts, maps, deeds, diaries, wills, and birth certificates should all be preserved and treasured as a record of the people who pass through our communities. The contents of these archives can influence future historical study and a greater understanding of where we have come from and who we are as a people. Together, they form our collective memory, a testament to the shaping of our identity.
The Nevis Island Administration is committed to preserving our archives, the Premier assured.
And that is why on 19th January 2016, with assistance from the British Library's services, we commenced a project and opened the Digital Archives Unit. In the initial stages, this project will seek to preserve our court documents, but it will eventually expand to include all of our island's archives.
The preservation of our marine environment, Premier Amy said, is also critical to our existence.
Our oceans and seas are the largest ecosystems on Earth, and they are the Earth's largest life support systems. To survive and prosper, we all need a healthy marine environment. Our oceans generate half of the oxygen we breathe. At any given moment, more than 97% of the world's water resides in oceans. Oceans preserve or provide a sixth of our annual protein consumption. Furthermore, our oceans absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and reduce the impact of climate change. The preservation of our marine environment is of vital interest for humankind. Our security, our economy, our very survival depends on this.
Premier Amy also used the opportunity to congratulate the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, the Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park Society, and the St. Kitts National Trust for hosting this year's History and Heritage Month. Canon Ernest Fleming yesterday, Sunday, January 31st, 2016, delivered his final sermon as head of the St. Paul's Anglican Church. Fleming spoke about his tenure at the church.
St. Paul's welcomed me with open arms, and consistently there has been tremendous appreciation and support from members. One of my colleagues tends to say, when a minister is appointed to a parish, in year one, he is idolized, he or she. In year two, he or she is criticized. And in year three, he or she is brutalized. There's no disputing that it occurs. But my dear sisters and brothers, I'm grateful that apparently my members can't count to 3 because I have not been brutalized as yet.
He added that the difference may be the quality of relationship between clergy and members. Canon Fleming, who has been serving at the St. Paul's Anglican Church for almost 20 years, has been appointed Archdeacon of the Cathedral in Antigua. There were various tributes and renditions by church members and the Anglican Regional Council. In his remarks, Fleming expressed his gratitude to all who made his stay an enjoyable one.
No praise would be too high for the St. Paul's congregation. St. Paul's accepted me and provided my family with the opportunity to be reunited after the volcanic crisis in Montserrat had separated us for 2 years. For 18 and a half years, you have been good to me, St. Paul's, with each parish vestry and other organizations giving excellent support, permitting me to establish myself and implement my vision, and have helped to nurture our children. I sincerely appreciate it.
He also thanked each Anglican district for allowing him the opportunity to minister to them, and also thanked them for their support. Yesterday's special service of Thanksgiving was the final official send-off for Canon Ernest Fleming. That's it for this evening's edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing. I am Donis Wilkinson Keynes. Good night.